Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we are going to try to make some survival arrows using these 32-inch bamboo skewers and some feathers from the craft section. These, I'm not quite sure if they're made from real feathers or not. They don't look like they're made from real feathers. And we got here our bamboo skewers. Only thing about the bamboo skewers that it makes it sort of an issue for what we're trying to do is that not all of them are super straight. They curve in different ways. And I was gonna try out a specific way to straighten it out. Alright, here I found one that isn't too bent up. We're gonna keep it with that tip, but I'm gonna burn it just slightly. I've heard that burning the tip of the arrow might make it a little, harder. This one does have a slight curve to it. I will see if I can use a flame to heat it up and try to bend it. I saw a video where some guy was making arrows with reeds, and that's what you do with the reeds in order to make them straighten out. But I'm not sure it would work the same for bamboo. I will see if it works for this piece. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, I'll try to find a straighter piece of bamboo. It does have the slightest curve in it. But I'll show you, if you can find some straight ones, it would work pretty good. Alright guys, as you can see, these skewers right out of the bag, they might look straight at first, but once you look down in this angle, they've got quite the curve to them. This one might be the straightest one that is in the package, but it's got quite the curve. I think I do see... Where is it? Right here. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera. Here, give me just a sec. Right there. That might be a spot where I can heat it up and curve it back to make it a little more straight. But we'll have to see. There's the little smoke that came from the striking the match and blowing it back out. So here we have a candle on. What I've seen in videos people do is they use heat from like a heat gun, but I don't have access to a heat gun. But I do have a candle, and I have the ability to try and hold this skewer just above where the heat would be to heat up the stick. So I'm just kind of rotating it slowly, letting it heat up the bamboo without burning it, hopefully. Oh, I think I lit a little too much there. You can see there it burnt a little bit, but it became softer there. So it seems to be working. So I'm just going to move it through sections, heat it up, and then bend it right where... See if I can get the stick to bend right where I'm heating it up. This seems to be working so far, which I'm a little surprised about. I didn't think it would. Let's see if you guys can see that. It's a lot straighter than it was earlier. It's still got quite a bit of a curve, but I can work on that. It's surprising. It actually is working to make the stick a little straighter than it was when I started. This is pretty cool. Ah, shoot. Made a mistake, guys. Heated it up just too much, and it snapped. Looks like I'll have to start over with another stick. Good thing I bought a pack that has 12 in it. So I guess we'll just have to take it nice and slow. And get the flame moving around a lot. It's not as even right now, sadly. I'll keep working on this, guys. You guys don't worry. Well, guys, I got it as straight as I could get it. But that's alright. Should be okay. Now I'm going to burn just the tip a little bit. Maybe I can use a knife or something to sharpen this up a little bit more. Make it more pointy. And then with the flame, just burn around it. I've heard that supposedly hardens the wood a little bit. Not sure if it's true, but we'll do it. I got here my little multi-tool knife. Alright, well, you guys can see I've got it a little sharper than it was before. I'm not sure how good you can see it. It is a little sharper. And then we're going to just lightly burn it at its tip at the candle. Well, if the flame would stop going crazy on me. There we go. Yeah, just burn it. Oh, don't want it to catch fire. Uh-oh. There we go. Not too bad. Oh, looks like I got a message. Don't worry, guys. Check it here in a bit. Alrighty. I did see a video where this guy used a tiny little straw with like a specialized straw that he made himself to blow air onto the flame just right to make it like a blowtorch. I mean, he was technically using the design of the original blowtorch. It was actually one of those oil lamps and a special straw that you blew air through, and it would direct air. It was pretty cool. Maybe I should try that for a project, right? So I got this nice and darkened. Now, on the other side, I'm going to put some fletching, this time with feathers. Alright, guys. So, got our craft feathers here. I think we're going to go for some bright colors because we're going to shoot this outside at some point, and I don't want to lose it out in the light. I think I should try to go for similarly shaped feathers. Yeah, I don't want to lose this in the grass, so maybe the lightly colored ones will be easier to see. Now, I'm not quite sure how the Native Americans would have originally done it, so I'm just kind of guessing how this is supposed to be done. I'm going to try to match up the feathers the best that I can to see where they match up the most and just cut off those sections. You can see, got them pretty matched up right there. This one matches up about there. Now I'm going to use my knife, cut it along the sections where they match up perfectly, and use that as the fletching. Wonder if that's how the natives would have done it. I tried to mark it with a marker. Didn't quite color the way I wanted it to, but at least the bottoms look pretty even. Now it's for the higher parts. Let me see what I can do. This side's a little too big. I'm going to need to find something to cut that with. Alright, well, I got some scissors here. I'll try to make these feathers match up even more. That's what I think you would want, ideally, is for your feathers to be the same. There we go. Now we'll do the same. I'll use one of these as a template for this other guy. I'll pick this guy up. Put him on there. Right about where he would match up. So I'll just... Yeah, we're indoors today. It's kind of cold out. And it's dark at this point. Couldn't get to record until just now. Look at that, guys. Pretty even. Now I need to cut open the spine so that I can glue this to my arrow. And the kind of glue I'm using, I'm not sure if it'll be good for it. But if this stuff is artificial and made out of plastic, this could work. This is cement for plastic models. Maybe it will work. We'll find out once I get there. Wonder if I can use my scissors to open up the spine on this thing. I call it the spine. I'm not sure what it's called. The hard part of the feather. Ooh, don't want to do that. It's a lot more difficult than I thought. Alrighty, I got this cut a little bit. It's got like a weird serrated thing going on with it. But this might work. Maybe it'll just work if I just cut off the tiny little bit of feathers on that side of the feather, right? Nope, maybe it's easier this way. Oh yeah, much easier. Okay, making a huge mess, however. So, remember guys, if you're doing this at home, remember to clean up your workstation. You do not want to leave a huge mess. It's your home. Alrighty, we got our feathers cut. Or fletching, right? Now just to glue them on. Evenly, for the most part, evenly spaced out. I'll put a little bit of glue on my arrow shaft, right? Then I'll put this guy on. I'll just hold him in place for a little bit. This cement claims to glue pretty quick, so we'll find out. Alright guys, been waiting here for a bit. It seems it doesn't work as good to stick to the bamboo. Definitely works to stick to the feather, but not the bamboo. So I think I'm going to have to find an alternative to stick these on here. I'm going to see if I have some hot glue now that I think about it. Oh wait, seems that this guy's finally sticking, but it's not quite strong. I think I'm going to use hot glue just because it's more expedient. Alright guys, well I searched and I could not find my hot glue gun, but I did find my hot glue sticks. And I also found a spoon. And I got a cool idea, and it turns out it worked pretty well. Check this out. Hot glue stick. Use my knife to cut off a little nubbin. Oh. Obviously, you gotta do this carefully. Probably should have used the utility knife. Little nubbin. You find yourself an old spoon that you don't really like. Set that in there. And remember that candle I had going? I melted the hot glue on the candle. It worked pretty good. So guys, what I did was I set the spoon right there, carefully, watching, making sure the flame was hitting where the candle was. You do have to be careful. Just like when you're burning a regular old candle, you can get some little bit of the fumes. Don't breathe those in. Have a fan going. I do have a fan going, thankfully. So I used the candle to melt the wax. And then once the wax is melted, I will show you how I spread it. Alrighty, so I got most of it melted on. So, what I did was I used the tip of this feather to pick up some of the glue, and then I spread it where I next needed to have a feather put on. So let me get right to that. This guy has to be at about this angle, and then I just rubbed the glue along where the feather needed to be. Of course, you do get all that stringing with the hot glue. However, the stringing is very easy to just pull up and off of whatever you worked on. It was very, very nice to do that. It does get a little messy, but it works surprisingly well. And there you go, it's on there. Now I need to do the other side. And it looks like I need to heat up the wax, or not wax, but the hot glue just a little more, because it cooled down pretty quick that time. There you go, I melted it some more. Spreads around a lot easier. And I just apply it. Pick up some with the tip of a feather, and I apply it. It's actually pretty neat. Works pretty well. Obviously not ideal. You'd want a heat gun or a hot glue gun dedicated to doing the heating of it. But if you happen to not have a heat gun on hand or can't find it for whatever reason, and you really need to melt some hot glue, this can work. All right, I'm going to let this dry, get rid of some of the strings, and get ready to do the next part. Yep, just heating up some hot glue with the vacuum later. Let's put on now. Now we finish up adding the glue on both sides. We're almost done, guys. Put this down. It was quite warm, that's why I set it on the pliers to start with. Don't want to unexpectedly catch the table on fire, but it's cooled down now quite a bit. I'll put plenty of this on there, make it quite sturdy, and then don't tell the wife, we're going to try to do a little test. No, I didn't cut any fletching on the back, but I think if I just squeeze hard with my fingers and I'm careful, I won't need to cut the knock. That's what I meant to say. Didn't put a knock on it, but it'll be all right. Let's get all the stringing off. Oh, sorry, you guys probably didn't see that. We're gonna get all the stringing off. I didn't, and we'll give it a little test fire in secret. Okay, guys. So here's my arrow. I got my miniature bow. I'm gonna see if I can get it to stick in the wall. Check it out, guys. The little rubber things hold it with my hand. I'm not gonna pass it through this guy. I'll just do it off the other side. Maybe it'll work out pretty well for us.
What was that?
Okay, guys, I gotta go. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for sticking to the end. I really did enjoy making this arrow. I hope to fully test some of these out, like make multiple and fully test them out in the outside. The fletching seemed to hold up just fine, but the tip not so much, but I did shoot it straight into a wall. Today's scripture reading is from Psalm 100, a psalm for giving grateful praise. Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Know that the Lord is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving, and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him, and praise his good name. For the Lord is good, and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. Thank you guys again for watching the video. God bless.